And you were in Vietnam, or where were you stationed?
I was in Thailand for 2 years, 3-year basis, which Thailand had some fringe benefits at the time as well for teenagers. I wouldn't know. I would still tell my children I was just there.
It's a sushi.
It's just sushi, and I was just reading the line. Trust me, I visited all the corners of the country. I learned a skill in the military, which was actually quite useful in Silicon Valley. You and I were chatting about this a bit. One is I realized I operated extremely well under chaos. And if you want chaos, first of all, you want the world's largest bureaucracy deal with the military, and then in chaotic situations in wartime with hundreds of fighter planes on a base and blah, 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 and stuff needed to be fixed, I was actually pretty calm, cool, and collected when stuff was breaking around me. And there were planes not coming back someday. And I remember coming to the Valley a couple of years later, somebody complaining, "Oh, this is so hard, so hard. Well, you could get fired here." I went, "Well, I was in a place where it was so hard you could get killed." So it was all kind of relative about what hard actually was about.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about, you hear that a lot, like, man, how hard it is. And you actually talk about this in the book, how every founder thinks their experience is just so unique, right? And it's just like, I'm the only one that's ever been through this. And why is that not true? Why is that not the case?
Well, it's kind of about how human beings are wired. I mean, we do this in our own social lives as well. When you're having some emotional crisis or girlfriend or boyfriend crisis or a meltdown crisis in a relationship, you go, it's all about me. And that's just how our brains are wired. And, why psychologists are great is because, they've read the book and they realize there's only about 53 patterns. There are not an infinite number of patterns. One of the interesting things about entrepreneurship, and I guess the reason why I'm sitting here, is that I realized that the entrepreneur's journey is not a singular journey, that there are a set of patterns that we all kind of follow, even though our technology might be unique, or our apps are unique, or our business is unique. How we actually build companies and the journey we go through is actually a common pattern. And the riff, I kind of take that off of, there was a book written in the middle of the 20th century by a guy named Joseph Campbell, and it was called The Hero with a Thousand Faces. Any of you ever have to read it in college? Campbell was a sociologist, anthropologist, had a really interesting observation. I'll just make it very short. If you read mythology through any culture, Chinese, Greek, Roman, Western, Irish, Norse myths, that the amazing thing is if you deconstruct all those myths, the storyline is the same. Identical storyline. There's a hero who has a calling, who kind of recruits a team, they go on a quest, they have to, pass a series of tests, there's either a physical or a virtual death and rebirth, and then there's insight at the end. And if you think of the story, even in the Judeo-Christian culture, it's the story of Moses, and it's the story of Star Wars. It's the same damn story.
Gosh, I love Star Wars.
Yeah. Well,
It's a tangent, but I'm just saying.
Well, but there's a Hollywood screenwriter's trick. They all read Joseph Campbell, right? Anybody? The guy, the videographer, have you read Joseph Campbell? There we go. Every videographer in the room has read Joseph Campbell, because that's how Hollywood screenwriters write scripts. You kind of go, okay, hero, calling, rebirth, etc. My point is that as I was thinking about not just my journey, but the journey of others, that holy cow, there seems to be a parallel for entrepreneurs.